I've even had bluegrass artists record my material, which I really thought was odd, you know. And one of my favorite ones was a guy by the name of Edgar Loudermilk. And he called me up on the phone. I don't know how he got my number. Probably somebody we know mutually. And he called me up one day and said, "Hey, Tony, you might not know who I am. My name's Edgar Loudermilk. And I used to play," that's how he said, Loudermilk. And he said, "I used to play mandolin for Shenandoah. You remember that group?" I was like, "Yeah, man, I actually know who you are. Yeah, man." So anyway, he said, "Well, I ran across one of your songs on one of your records, and I'm just wondering if you would mind if I'm calling to ask permission to record it." And I'm like, "Well, man, you don't have to call and ask permission, but glad you did, because I get to talk to you and say hello." And he's like, "Well, absolutely, man. I'm a big fan of your music." I'm like, "Wow, okay." So it was this tune off the Places album, which is, you know, when I was down there touring, coming up with little ideas here and there. This was one of those that got recorded off of that record, and it's called "Dreaming Enough to Get Me By," but he cut it a little more bluegrass than I can play it right now. So, but it sort of kind of sounds bluegrass.
Where's
If I
the
can
banjo?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I forgot my banjo. I'll just try to speed it up a little bit. Every day I'm chasing bill after bill, running 2 steps behind. I look to my horizon and see hill after hill that get harder and harder to climb. But as long as I am able, I put food on the table. Yes, I found myself a good way to survive. I'm just dreaming enough to get me, dreaming enough to get me, dreaming enough to get me by. I keep on standing on door after door. Lord, my soul's wearing thin. And I keep on standing on shore after shore, waiting, wondering where my ship has been. Till that tide starts to turn, and I'll keep living and learning the darkest hours right before the morning light. I'm just dreaming enough to get me, dreaming enough to get me, dreaming enough to get me by. I keep my eye on that pie in the sky. I'm just dreaming enough to get me by. Yeah. But as long as I am able, I put food on the table. Yes, I found myself a good way to survive. I'm just dreaming enough to get me, dreaming enough to get me, dreaming enough to get me by. And Lord, I pray it ain't all pie in the sky. I'm just dreaming enough to get me, dreaming enough to get me, dreaming enough to get